Hello and welcome. We are live from the pre-grid in the opening round of the British Rallycross Championship Five Nations Trophy for 2025. I'm so excited to be here at Lydden for this opening round, and this is the first time we've done a live broadcast in the pre-grid and in the paddock indeed. Live all weekend, the Rallycross action on the Five Nations YouTube channel, kicking off from racing starting for Q1 at 10:30 this morning. Let's just have a spin around here, Tierney. These are the very first cars going out in free practice for the 2025 season. A lot of these drivers doing sighting laps. The new juniors in this row here, with Mason Ovenden putting in a very late entry, son of Simon, who used to race in the Swift Sport category, a big part of the Ovenden Motorsport team. The pressure a young driver must feel making their debut, especially when you're so close to home as the Ovendens are here at Lydden Hill. Massive super retro entry this weekend, led by this driver, Charlie French, in the Tuesday Night Club's Mark II Escort. They won the championship last year, have done a massive amount of work on the car ahead of this season. The level in retro and super retro is just increasing all the time. Ray Morgan, one of the original campaigners. Pat Duran, four-time British Rallycross champion. He's done a load of work to his car, not personally, but a load of work has been done to that car over the winter as well. And this man, what a delight it is to have Andy Grant back in the Rallycross paddock. Andy drove this car for the first time in a pre-season test on Thursday, and at lunchtime he was going home. He was not enjoying it at all, but he's learned to love it. Got used to not having a front diff, as he has done in the Supercar for so many years, and he's going to give it a good crack this weekend, I'm sure, on his debut. Right, let's see who we can see. Vince Bristow, Mr. Sideways, Terry Moore, who is always spectacular in his Mini. And this is very special for the British Rallycross Championship. Derek Tohill revealed yesterday that he has a Peugeot Sport, ex-Hanson Motorsport Peugeot 208 WRX. It's come over from France, from the DA Racing team. Not so dissimilar to the car that Patrick O'Donovan has raced on and off in the last couple of years. Let's interrupt quickly. Sorry, Derek, we're live. I know you've got a lot of work to do. You're working on your French. How's that going?
Yeah, I'm being Frenched. I have been Frenched. So that's a good thing, I hope. Yeah.
Clearly, I mean, you've been looking to make the jump into something else for a long time. Molly, your Ford Fiesta has been a great servant to you and your team, but you've had it 10 years, and the technology's moved on a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, look, you know, they say a change is as good as a rest, and that's how I kind of feel with it. You know, Molly, the Fiesta needed a rebuild, and there was never the time to give it a full rebuild because the calendars are so busy. The Irish Championship runs through the winter, so you'd probably have to sacrifice a year out of maybe the Irish Championship or something, which I've been committed to the Irish Championship for quite a while, so had to come up with another plan really, and so now we can rebuild Molly, and we can try and get used to this, and it's quite different, and I probably will miss the Fiesta for sure for quite a while, but hopefully it won't be long before I fall in love with this French girl called Sophia.
You drove in Falaras in the south of France earlier this week. That's very near to where the DA Racing team are from. How did that go?
Yeah, it was great. Interesting, very slippery track. It was wet. We did get a couple of dry laps as well, and just getting used to it. But very nice team to work with, nice family, and nice engineers, mechanics, nice food, nice wine. So yeah, it was really good, really nice. So, but you know, going around on your own is, you know, you really don't know till you start racing. So look, today is definitely a test, and we'll get through today and see how it goes.
And no doubt there'll be some spies around in the morning as well to find out what's going on. Good luck, Derek. Stuart Emery, former Super National champion in his Volvo. Let's have a quick look up here, Tierney. Try and get around the paddock. Max Angmaid stepping up to Supercar this weekend. Now Max knows that what he has is not capable of winning an event. I think we'll be fair about that. It's an evolved version of his All 4 Mini that he raced in the last couple of years, but he's just trying to find his feet. The double junior champion, of course, and get to grips with get to grips with Supercar. It's a massive step up. Just watch yourself there, T, don't get run over. James Constantine racing in Crosscar. Now, for 2025, Crosscar, oh James, you've stalled up live on YouTube. Crosscar has got Motorsport UK sanctioning for the series this year, and that's massive. So the opening round took place as part of the BTRD Clubman's Rallycross Championship at Lydden a few weeks ago, where former British Rally champion Ocean Price won. Ocean's not here this weekend, but there's a host of really, really competitive drivers looking to claim big points. 12 rounds for the Crosscar series this year, and it's going to be super competitive. Speaking of super competitive, Steve Harris, I was going to ask you, where's the Mini? I know the Mini's at home, isn't it? You're racing a Swift this weekend, blazoned with Lydden Hill branding. Changing class, how much are you looking forward to some single make action?
I'm looking forward to it a lot. It's no pressure, no stress, very easy going. Carl's already here for me. So yeah, it's a bit less pressure on the supercar. I will miss the supercars a lot, especially the Mini, but life's about fun and I'm trying to have some.
You're basically a works driver then, if the car was here and prepared for you.
Exactly, yes, thanks to Pat.
You've made it. I can't think of anything else to say. Well done, mate. I hope you enjoy it. The Swifts are competitive, aren't they? So it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough, but if we have a big smile on the face, that'd be good for me.
Thank you, mate. Good luck, Steve. I want to have a quick word with this lad here as well, if we can. Talking of smiles on faces, Ted Shepherd, welcome to the British Rallycross Championship. You made your Rallycross debut at Lydden a few weeks ago. Now you're here in the Swifts. You tried the Swifts out here at Lydden?
I have. I've done 2 experience days with Peter Gwynn, mid and end of last year. And then on the drive home from the second one, I decided I've got to buy a car. So I went and bought a Citroen C2 a friend had built, well, half built. Finished it off and got up to Blighton Park for the start of this year. And yeah, was happy, got a bit of silverware, come back second place. We was very pleased with that. And yeah, just excited to get back out. I'm very much enjoying it.
A proper home circuit as well. For people that don't know, your uncle is Will Gollop, yes. Absolute Rallycross legend, and of course very local to here as well. So it must be special to be here at Lydden in a competitive weekend.
Exactly, absolutely, and it's really a nice feeling to be out here. I've spent all of my time growing up watching people go out, watching my uncle, old clips of him, and even my dad having a go. And it's just nice to now be doing it myself. And also, where Will's local, he can come down and watch me this weekend. I think he'll be here on Monday. So that's a great pleasure to be able to race in front of him as well, and also have him there for some good tips, I'm sure. So that would be handy as well.
Brilliant to have you here. I hope you enjoy it.
Cheers.
What as I whack my head on the awning? What a dynasty to be part of, as a relation of Will Gollop, who is a genuine, complete legend. Let's have a look at the time. I haven't got a watch on, so we've got lots of time. So let's carry on around the paddock. Phoebe Cake returning in juniors this year. Dan Wright, circuit commentator, he knows a bit about Rallycross as well. Of course, all these awnings are empty because the retros have gone out for their practice sessions. Let's just have a shimmy on down here and see if we can find some supercars. Mike Seller returning with a Polo for the second year. Did selected events last year, planning to do the full season in 2025. Of course, we're at Lydden Hill, Mondello Park twice, Pembrey and Loiac as part of the French Rallycross Championship round at Loiac. Have a quick spin round here, Tierney. Liam Durant doing demos in one of his Class 7 mini autograss cars, and he is certainly a man that isn't afraid of anything. Least of all a rear-wheel drive rocket ship like that. This is Murray Motorsport, now become a regular staple of Five Nations events, always turn out a brilliant team. And a big part of the Supercar Championship this year is the Teams Championship, with some financial reward for the winners as well. And working together is John McCluskey and Gary Donoghue. Let's have a quick chat with John. John, you've well and truly caught the bug back, haven't you? You're away quite a while, and now you're well and truly here.
Yeah, once you get a taste for it, you just can't stop it. Isn't it just brilliant? So exciting last year, and really looking forward to this year, especially with the teams thing.
We just mentioned the Teams Championship. You've been a big part of putting that together, and when you've got someone on your side and there's a bit of financial reward at the end of it, you're not driving for yourself. It's a different kind of competition, isn't it?
It is. I think it just adds a new dimension to it, because it sort of takes, if there's one driver particularly dominant, the likes of Patrick, that is hard to beat. It just adds something else to a different dimension to it. So, and you're right, you do want to obviously not let your partner down. So even if you're in 4th position or 5th position in Superfund, you're not giving up. You're fighting for the next position. So.
And your hopes and expectations? I think the level is as high as it's been in an incredibly long time here this weekend.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of very competitive drivers. I think there's 5 or 6 drivers that could win it. And again, this is why the teams thing is so important. It just adds, for anybody that isn't winning, it adds another dimension to it, you know.
Thank you, John. Good luck. Let's just have a quick word with your teammate, Gary Donahue. Gary, you've stepped into rallycross a bit the last couple of years, but had a brilliant day out in Mondello in the Irish Championship a couple of months ago. How are you feeling in the car?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out today. It's I love this track here. It's a fantastic track. It's good to get out. Mondello was a good run. It was a shakedown, but we came away with the win, which was even better. So we've set up for the full championship this year, so I'm looking to get all the rounds in and hopefully be thereabouts at the end of the season.
So this team's championship crack, is the primary objective to beat John or to not fire him off?
I don't know, Owen is in charge of team orders there, so you can ask him.
Good luck, mate. Cheers, Gary. Great to have Gary Donahue here together with John for the season. Let's see who else we've got here. Let's have a look down here. So, as part of the team's championship, Tristan Ovenden and Julian Godfrey have teamed up. Now, I think they are called JGE Team Ovenden Rallycross. I'm going to go with that. It sounds correct. Ju just doing some work on the car. So this is 002, the Citroen DS3 that Liam Duran's team built. Tristan Ovenden, goody. I'm getting a shake of the head because I've got the name wrong, haven't I? I've got the name of the team wrong. And there's no one here, so that's really useful. And I don't want to interrupt Julian because they're obviously busy. There's a man I can interrupt. He's here. And he definitely doesn't want to be spoken to, and hence why I'm making a beeline for him. Graham Modermark, what are you most famous for? Being Kevin Hansen's spotter, I guess, in the World Rallycross Championship for a long time, part of the Hansen team. What are you doing here?
Just trying to support the local lads, really. It's Tristan's obviously a great friend of mine. We raced together in the Suzuki Swifts, and obviously he's progressing through the categories and the sport and whatever else. So yeah, try and help out where I can. And I've also brought my dad out for the day today. He's 88 now, so last time he drove here was 1976. So quite interesting for him to come and have a look.
Wonderful, and a bank holiday weekend at Lydden Hill is pretty special for all of us that are addicted to this game like you and I are.
There's nothing else to do on bank holiday Easter weekend, is there really? You've got to come to Lydden one of the days.
Just speaking of Tristan there before, there's a great story, isn't there, of when you raced together where you had some sort of contretemps in the first corner and he lost some time, you were leading or up there at least, and then you waited for him because you didn't feel like what had happened was fair. Talk us through that, because that's a real mark of your competitive spirit, I think.
Yeah, I did. I was behind Tristan, and obviously that's not where I wanted to be. And I was running out of options, and then the only option I took, which wasn't really my way, was a little bit too aggressive, and I sat in the car for the next lap thinking, yeah, that wasn't really fair, so let the other boys go, and then we were back on even terms for the next heat.
Lastly, you're here in Civies, unbranded. I'm not going to ask what your personal plans are, but unfinished business in Rallycross?
Absolutely, we've got a story to finish there, definitely, and not too sure which year that story's going to finish, but we're fairly intent on finishing it.
And that you mean by winning the World Championship with Kevin, because you brought him from being a 14-year-old kid in this championship up until where he is now?
Absolutely. He was 13, incidentally, when he wrote my Suzuki off here in the snow. But yes, with Kevin, it'd be a great end to a fantastic story that's been so far.
Wish you all the best. Thank you, Graham. And great to see people here this weekend who don't need to be. Oh no, I've just rolled over a fuel can. Terrible. Let's grab Tristan quickly. Hello, mate. Sorry to doorstep you, but when a superstar like Graham Modermark's around, it's difficult to avoid. I think I've just ruined your team name because I couldn't remember it when we were walking up to the awning. What is it?
GJE Rallycross.
Well, it's JGE. I know that.
JGE. Sorry, yes, Julian Godfrey.
Let's give up. Fine. What are your expectations this weekend?
We always aim for the podium. Winning's a bit optimistic, but if we can get on the podium, we're super happy.
The level is so high here. I said it to a few people.
It is today. If we're in the final, we have a decent race in the final, we would have had a decent day. We'd be happy enough, frankly.
And you're good at the consistency thing, aren't you? I know reliability's been tricky for you the last couple of years, but you're all a bit like Julian, to be fair. You're always there or thereabouts, and it's about picking up the pieces at the end as well, isn't it? I always think a rallycross car's at its worst when you need it most, come the final after it's been racing in the heats all day, but you've got to be there at the end, haven't you?
Yeah, you really have, yeah. Yeah, that's where the points are, and that's the conversation me and Julian had. We think, if you look at the seasons that have gone past, generally we've scored quite well over a season.
Yeah.
individual rounds not so much, but come the end of the season we haven't been far off. So maybe as a team we can make it work.
And of course your hands are full as normal by running various family members. Will, your youngest boy's in a cross car this season. How's that going?
It's been a bit difficult to start with. We've had a couple of issues, honestly, that we didn't expect to have. It seems that they're all kind of the same, but not necessarily the same. So we've had a few things to get over, but we had a good test on Thursday. A lot of help from my girl chap in the UK, so we're quietly confident we'll be having a good day with that.
Good luck, mate. Hope it all goes well. Just for a bit of background, and as an indication as to a supercar driver's life, Tristan works every day, of course, and then he drove to Sweden to Hanson Motorsport with his son Will to collect that cross car, and then they drove basically back to the first round at Blyton a few days later. Let's have a quick look in here. Engine's running, so I don't know if we'll be able to hear. Let's just jump in and have a word. So this is Ian Barrett's Volkswagen Polo. They're obviously just getting ready, so I won't interrupt them, but they had a late night engine change last night and they've done a great job to get that car back out. Let's see if Ian is willing to talk. So Ian, the boys have put in a massive effort to even get you going this weekend. How was your little run there?
Yeah, just trying to see if it was going to behave itself after yesterday, Hal. So thankfully so far now it's settled down, so does look like there was a problem with the first motor, so fingers crossed now we can get some time in the car and build back up again. So I just want to say big thanks to the lads. They haven't gone to bed all night, and their loyalty and their commitment is brilliant to see, so I got to repay them now with some decent results.
There's some tired eyes in here, but that's when you need the experience of the team to pull through for you.
Yeah, absolutely. There was no opting out last night. They all just got one of Tony Barty's friends to drive down last night. He left Yorkshire, and so yeah, a lot of commitment from everyone. But look, that's why we're here, and hopefully now we can give it a good go. Great
to have you here again. I hope you have a good weekend. This is of course the car that Johan Kristoffersson won the Rally X title in 2023. But not the works-built killer Polo that is oh so famous. How are we doing for time? We've got 5 more minutes or so. Let's have a quick look in here and see if we can grab somebody. George Tracy Jr. there, who might appear later in the year, is doing a good disappearing act. Ollie Bennett's Mini. Ollie, of course, won the final round last year. Let's have a quick word of his spotter. Dan Rook, 2016 British Rallycross champion, now spotter extraordinaire. How are you expecting this weekend to go?
Hopefully where we left off. We came off the end of last season with a win. We've had a lot of work over the car over the winter, and we're fighting fit, ready to go again.
I think what Ollie said himself in that final round, couldn't get the car off the line, was always on the back foot, had to fight back. How is that from a strategic point of view, especially when the Joker's so late in the lap? It makes it tough, doesn't it? And you really have to work together.
Yeah, I mean, you make a plan. Usually when you don't get the start, the plan goes out the window, so you kind of just got to fly off the seat of your pants and work out the strategy as you go, work out the faster people around you and where you're going to slot out. Like you say, with a later Joker, you can't afford to drop behind a car which might hold you up, so it's about timing.
It's all about timing, mate. We won't interrupt Ollie. Thank you, Dan. Good luck this weekend. Have a quick look around this car, T, because Carl Ray and his guys have done a massive job in rebuilding this car over the winter. I can tell you from personal experience that it is impossible to explain how much work goes into one of these things to get them ready, and it looks absolutely stunning. Well done, Carl. Carl looks great. Let's grab Ollie quickly before he gets in. Hello, mate. Always last to arrive, and the most chilled out person in the paddock. How much are you looking forward to getting back into this weapon?
I was just saying to Dan, how do I drive this thing? It's been since Lydden last time I drove a car, so just flat out and then we'll have a go. Should be fine.
Well, where are the kicks for you? Are they in finishing first or in getting the biggest sends around the bottom of the hill?
You just said it, that downhill there. That is all I'm here for. If I go into that this morning confident, then yeah, we'll have a good weekend.
Cheers, Ollie. Good luck. Thank you, mate. Let's squeeze out of here. There you go, T. Let's wrap up by speaking to the British champion if he's in here, because it says 10 o'clock on the screen. We're going live with racing at 10:30. So of course Patrick's not here. Let's grab a quick word, if it's not too loud. Where's Tierney gone? Oh, there he is. Quick word of Sam Clenott. Sam, you're just doing the finishing touches to Patrick's racewear because he obviously hasn't ahead of the event. Massive effort to get here. How much are you looking forward to actually going racing?
Glad to be back. Should be a good race event, I think. So should be a good day, hopefully.
Ollie's Focus looks stunning. A bit of a tribute livery.
Yeah. Shame to use it again, really, but I'm sure you'll have fun.
They're not for looking at, though, are they? Really, they're for going absolutely flat out around Lydden Hill. Here he is. Thanks for turning up, Patrick. Reigning British champion, 3-time British champion. You weren't sure what you were doing this year. Very late announcement that you were coming back to defend your title. The level's high, isn't it? You come in with a massive target on your back, but how much are you looking forward to competing in the British Championship again?
Should be good fun. I mean, it's always fun coming back to the British Championship. You know, it gives a chance to my family and a few of my school friends and stuff to come up and watch me race, and it's always a fun weekend. You know, it's like everyone always talks about old European Rallycross Championship where there was so much like camaraderie around the paddock, and you get the same thing in this championship. It's just everyone's just here to have a good time, and no one's out to get each other or stab each other in the back. So it's a pretty laid back, chill weekend. And I mean, Pat's done an amazing job, and everyone at HMC and Five Nations have done an amazing job this year with promoting the championship and building it so it's in a better position than it was. So I'm pretty excited to see how it gets on. And
for once, you're not in the 208, are you? In the Supercar grid. What's Derek going to go through trying to get used to that car? Because it's very different to the older supercars, isn't it? And you know that from first-hand experience.
Yeah, it's very different. But of course, Derek's an experienced driver, and I mean, there's no reason why Derek and Oliver Bennett and even the guy in the Polo can't like have quicker lap times. You know, in theory, the cars are better on paper, so there's no reason why they shouldn't be up there setting top times. So I mean, our expectations for the weekend are just to go out and have a bit of fun is the main thing, and then I mean, of course, it'd be great to get a good result, but with so many good cars on the weekend, we'll just have to wait and see where we are at the end of it.
Does that not make the enjoyment that not more, but it makes you more determined? You have to dig that bit deeper if you don't think you have the ultimate advantage. You need to maximise everything, and I guess as a professional driver, that has its own satisfactions as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely, it's going to be tough, and it's going to make me want it more. I'm going to have to dig deeper and go harder than I have in quite a long time. So, no, I'm looking forward to it, and I think it should be a pretty good weekend, and I'm just here to have fun. So we'll see.
Good luck, Patrick. Enjoy it. Of course, the Focus I referenced before when talking to Sam was Ollie Donovan's Focus, which is looking immaculate as ever. Let's have just a run down to the pre-grid to finish off. So one of the things Patrick was mentioning there was the camaraderie. As we heard from Ian, they had to change the engine in the Polo last night. Tony Bardi and his guys have done an all-nighter to get that engine changed. In driver's briefing this morning, it was requested that he had 3 laps to run the engine in. They don't know anything about this engine, as it's the spare. They haven't done, by that I mean they haven't done the pre-season test, so they hadn't been tested and shaken down as you would love to do normally, and it was a unanimous yes. All the Supercar drivers said yes, no problem. There was a bit of joking and banter about whether all of the rest of the Supercars were going to be allowed to jump in with him to do those laps, but critically he was allowed to do that, and that's what Patrick's talking about, that sort of camaraderie. He definitely doesn't get any sort of competitive advantage by doing a run-in of an engine, but yeah, brilliant that that's allowed to happen. These are the juniors, the future of the sport. Harrison Foley, Teddy McPherson, who is the highest place of the returning drivers. Phoebe Cake back for another year. We're going to see her in Rally X later this season in a Supercar lights as well. Caden Harris here, one of the stars of last year, who has a great chance of a brilliant result this weekend and this season. How are we doing for time? We're going to wrap up live all weekend on the Five Nations British Rallycross Championship Facebook page, and YouTube is the live stream package, which is going to include everything. Bryn Lucas is your commentator. I'll hand over to him. Enjoy it.